Well, what do we have again? 22 years after the death of Alhaja Kudrat Abiola, famously known as the martyr of democracy in Nigeria, and 25 years after the famous June 12 election, and just a few years after the death of Abiola, M.K.O, the winner of that election, the president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, decided to honor M.K.O Abiola as a former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with the very highest national order, which was bestowed upon him on June 6 in Nigeria, just 48 hours after the 22nd anniversary of Alhaja Kudrat Abiola. Today, in the city of Lagos, somewhere in West Africa, we are very privileged to meet one of the symbolic sons of the late Are Ona Kakanfo, the businessman and the iconic politician in Nigeria. His name is Alhaji Jamiu Abiola. He is symbolic in the sense that he wrote a book a couple of years back titled The President Who Never Ruled, in honor of his late father, Chief M.K.O Abiola. And in the book, he gave a whole lot of analysis, a whole lot of insight into what it means for his father to sacrifice for democracy and his mother to actually sacrifice for democracy. See, there's another book he also published called The Stolen Presidency, which was also published across the world, both in English, Arabic, and a couple of other languages. What does Jamiu Abiola mean? And for the other book titled The President Who Never Ruled, there are a lot of prophetic analysis in this book, and it is very spiritual because it happens to be written by the fifth son of M.K.O Abiola, who is widely known as the symbol of democracy in Nigeria, and the third child, second son of Kudirat Abiola, widely known as the martyr of democracy. Today, after chasing him for a few days, we are privileged to meet Alhaji Jamiu Abiola, a businessman, entrepreneur, and a political analyst. Just follow me as we engage Jamiu Abiola on the recent development in Nigeria for his father and the role of democracy in Nigeria and West Africa. Yes, sir. With total honor, we are very privileged and honored for this wonderful time giving us. Try to get you last for the 8 hours, and you said you are so busy, two other things. Alhaji Jamiu Abiola, you wrote the book, The President Who Never Ruled. With the June 6 declaration of President Muhammadu Buhari, declaring your father as the authentic winner of the June 12 election, that's 1993, which is going to be 25 years this coming Tuesday, and with the honorary title of GCFR. How do you feel being the prophet who wrote the book, The Stolen Presidency and the President Who Never Ruled? How do you feel, Alhaji Jamiu Abiola?
Right now, I can say that I'm the happiest man in the world. Not just literally, but actually and practically. I'm happiest man in the world in the sense that for so long, I was in the wilderness. I felt like my parents died for nothing. Because there's nothing worse than somebody making a sacrifice and for the sacrifice not to be recognized. It was recognized by Nigerians, but those that got to this power, they always found it convenient to sweep it under the carpet for reasons best known to them. Initially, so I was almost running mad, getting frustrated, said to myself that some people are trying to rewrite history. They want to rewrite history and they want to do what has been done before. This is not the first time that a great man has been treated this way. If you remember, Julius Caesar did a lot for the Roman Empire, and he went around the world conquering, risking his life. At the end of the day, when he becomes so powerful, the elites in Rome came together and they killed him. They said, what do we do with a man that we owe so much? That is why I want everybody in Nigeria to give special respect to President Muhammadu Buhari.
You call it special respect. Why?
Special respect because this man is somebody that is not only unique, he is very, 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 very fantastic. I don't know how to put my words without seeming like I'm flattering, but at the same time, the fact is the fact, as what you said. People always say the truth is bitter, but the truth can also be sweet. And in this case, when I'm describing General Buhari, the truth is sweet. Because he's not only a good person, he's a perfect person. Now, he is from Katsina.
Okay.
He's not a Yoruba man, but he has proven that he's more detribalized than any other Nigerian. He's at the same caliber of people like Nelson Mandela, people like my father Chief Abiola, and now him, because he has shown that it's not about where you come from, it's about the fact that we are all one. That is the symbolic message that he has made, and he has made it very clear. 25 years passed, this election came and went. Nobody ever that got to power did what he did. President Goodluck tried, he wanted to name the University of Lagos after him, but of course people said this is in the southwest, that is too small for somebody like M.K.O Abiola. I was happy he did it because I just felt you want to go somewhere, you start from somewhere.
But let's go back a bit. Since this honor, I think I should even start by asking that the presidential honor came 48 hours after the celebration, that is 22nd anniversary of the death of your mom, that is Hajia Kudrat Abiola, globally known as the martyr of democracy in Nigeria. Does that say anything? Because that happened in June 4, and I remember President Olusegun was there laying wreaths at her tomb, and there were a series of activities to mark her. And the following day, the next day, there was this national honor. Is there any spiritual symbolism?
MKO, Chief Moshood Abiola, and Alhaji Abiola are one. This struggle for democracy is a struggle, it's like a teamwork. MKO, Moshood, my father, Abiola, was arrested. And once he was arrested, his role in the struggle became limited. He now was fighting what you can call an internal struggle. Because the struggle for him at that point was how to avoid running mad, being solitary confined for that long. But the struggle on the field was left to a woman that was 42 years old at that time.
42 years old.
42-year-old woman that is younger than my wife, the same age as my wife, was the one that, my age right now, she's the one that carried the struggle for the biggest country in Africa against the most powerful, mafia organization. We're talking about the military government with wealth, with manpower, with resources, with so many things at their disposal to fight a 42-year-old harmless woman. But she did not give up. I called her several times. I said, Mommy,
where were you then?
I was in America.
Okay.
We only have you. Please take it easy. If you want to fight, come to America. She said, how can I leave when my husband is here? And of course,
are you sure that was a statement?
That's a statement, and she now got killed. That's why I'm so grateful that the city of New York, decided to name the street after her. Something that has never been done for anyone other than Nelson Mandela. Even my father did not get that honor. Nobody in Africa apart from Mandela has gotten that honor. Now if you go to New York, you go to 44th Street, which was exactly the age she was when she died. It's named after Kudrat Abiola.
44th Street in New York?
In New York.
Named after your mother?
Her. As a matter of fact, I will collect your email, I will forward you the pictures of that street. I was just there a couple of months ago. I went to New York. I took my whole family, my children. We all went, and we were so happy that this is what we are talking about. Life, everybody's going to live, everybody's going to die. You can die anytime. Some people sleep, they don't even die. Some people, they just leave a small candle light and it causes a fire. They wake up and they're dead. Life doesn't mean anything. It goes like that. But it's what you do when you're alive that matters.
I want to ask you this question. Before we go deep into the Buhari honor, the presidential honor of President Muhammadu Buhari, you wrote this book, and at the time you were writing this book, it was like you are being dragged by spirits, because I thought you were busting in and out of emotions at that time, and a lot of people took you for maybe a fool. And we had a book reading December 10, 2016 at African Hall, where the book was, some of the content were atomized, and a whole lot of people came to speak. Among them is the son of late Chief Alawa Kabashorun, Mr. Shegun Akabashorun. And some people called you a prophet because of the book, and some people also called you maybe a seer, somebody who saw the future, because you analyzed exactly what happened now with President Buhari. You said your father deserved A, B, C, D. What came upon you when you were writing The President Who Never Ruled?
This book, The President Who Never Ruled and The Stolen Presidency, are the most difficult things I've ever done in my life, in the sense that the psychological trauma that I went through because of these two books are like second to none. And you know what actually made it even more dramatic was that after writing it in English and I wrote it in Arabic. So everything I wrote now people in the Arab world, from Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, they now know the story of, they now know that Africans can actually produce quality. Africans can actually produce sacrifice. Africans are not just barbaric, and they're not people that don't have ideals. I had to make sure that I make people understand that this is Africa, this is who we are. We are not backwards, we are not animals, and we can do what any other person can do. The reason why I wrote this book was because I realized I was desperate. This man's name is going. Nobody wants to recognize him. Nobody wants to remember him. So when I wrote the book, initially, at the beginning of the book, I dedicated this book to President Yoweri Museveni and President Nelson Mandela for their steadfast support to my father, President Moshood Abiola, throughout his incarceration. I called him President. Then, it was in 2015.
President already?
President Moshood Abiola.
My God.
This is in 2015.
That's why they are calling me prophets.
And I sent this book to President Buhari then. I gave it to him directly. I sent this book to everybody. I gave it to governors. I gave out almost 4,000 copies of this book.
Did you give it to President Obasanjo?
I gave it to him.
President Obasanjo?
I gave it to President Obasanjo.
Okay.
I gave it to everybody, and they read it. And some people called me and said, "Come, are you not scared for your life? The people that destroyed your father are still alive, and you're writing a book saying the truth the way it is. You're not scared." I said, if my father has died and he brought me to this world, and my mother has died and she brought me to this world, why would I be scared? If I die, nothing can happen. The struggle will continue, the struggle will continue. So when I wrote this book, there was never any thought that this was going to happen. But I did it because as the son of M.K.O Abiola, I have an obligation to do something for him and let people understand the story. But I thank God that all I said in this book has come to pass. And I actually spoke well about President Buhari in this book. I said the only thing that General Abacha did that was good was he actually formed the Petroleum Trust Fund, and he bought a man of the most integrity to run, the former head of state with the most integrity. It's all in this book in 2015. And then, of course, there was no thought of General Buhari doing anything like this. But I already prayed because I want to just be objective and to be truthful and say things the way they are. And these books are there, the evidence are there, they're on Amazon, people can read them and they can know everything. So in Nigeria, we have to really, as I said before, respect and thank the president.
Let me come to this question now.
Yes.
It's very funny. Talking about you getting fallen, your spirit was going down, asking yourself, why is my father being treated this way? Why is he not being celebrated? Were you close to the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo? Because since President Buhari honored Chief MKO Abiola with GCFR and announced him as the authentic symbol of democracy, a lot of people have been asking that, oh, his friend and his former schoolmate, Chief Obasanjo, was there for 8 years, and this honor didn't come. How did you feel with that?
No, I felt very bad about that. And the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, when he was president, I visited him several times. And I called him sometimes, and he also called me sometimes. And when I wrote my first book, Realistic Hopes, I gave it to him. And he did a fantastic review. And he said that the book is fantastic because it gives people hope. That is General Obasanjo. So when he was president, I remember sending him a text message telling him that people are saying that why are you not recognizing MKO? And they are giving impression that you don't like him. But I know it's not true. So please put them to shame. But unfortunately, he did not do it for reasons best known to him. But so when I wrote this book about my father, I went and I gave it to him as well.
You gave him a copy
I
of
gave
this
him a
book?
copy of this book, and I'm sure he read it. You see, the truth of the matter is that my conscience is clear because all I've done for my father is what I should have done as a son. I didn't do it as a favor, I did it as an obligation. Because this is what I would like my son to do for me.
A lot of people will also think that maybe you are biased in your opinion.
People will think I'm biased, but if I'm biased over my father, it's not the end of the world. And apart from that, some of the things I've said in this book, anybody that thinks otherwise can write his own book or her own book. But the truth of the matter is that I have to be biased because, I did not come to this world by accident. I didn't fall from the sky. And I'm not Jesus Christ. So these are the people that bought me. This is my father and this is my mother. And both of them died, they were killed. So if I'm not biased towards them, how will I be biased to? But it's a factual book because I always want to be objective because my conscience always haunting me. Even my other book I wrote, it's called The Prisoner of Conscience. I don't want to ever be a prisoner of my conscience. So I always say the truth.
As if Prisoner of Conscience was the first book?
No, Realistic Hope
was the first
then
book.
The Prisoner of Conscience, then The President Who Never Ruled, then The Stolen Presidency. And I always write in two languages, Arabic and English, so that I can spread out and let people read more.
No. I interviewed you I think a couple of years back when President Jonathan named Unilag after Chief MKO Abiola, and a lot of people thought it was a big honor, but eventually the elites in the southwest came out, the students started with the riots and said, oh no, we cannot be Mau Mau or Maulag or something like that. Our name is Unilag and we want to respect the credential of the brand, not the spirit of M.K.O Abiola, who adventure was one of those who even filled their library, paid for some of their institutional nomenclatures and all that. How did you feel at the time Jonathan did that? And did you feel that President Jonathan was not decisive enough to make M.K.O what he's supposed to be?
You know, there's a saying in English that half a loaf of bread is bread and none. When everybody kept somebody in the desert for years and they didn't do anything, somebody now gives you a drop of water. How do you criticize the person? President Jonathan did what he did because he had a good intention. But unfortunately, a lot of M.K.O has so many enemies. Some of them smile and say they're his friend and they're his enemy. These are the people that were causing all this problem. You can imagine a whole president of Nigeria making an announcement in less than 30 minutes, BRT buses are in 10 million bridge causing problem. How are they mobilized? Obviously, a lot of people that did not want the president to have goodwill in the southwest, who did and scattered everything. Then what did they now say? They say, why doesn't he name Aso Rock after him? They now started giving him on conditions that were not even doable. So at the end of the day, M.K.O's enemies are so many. The man, even in death, is so powerful that he has so many enemies. And that's why, as I said earlier on, we have to give General Buhari special recognition because he's not just a man at this point, he's angelic. I know he has his faults, but what he has done has proven to us that if we stand with him and we support him and we give him the moral support, that he will not only excel, he will surpass that word excel by the grace of God.
I want to ask you this question. There's also the opposition group who feel that, oh, Mr. Buhari has just used this one to score a very big political point, to punch General Obasanjo in the scotron, and to hit General Babangida on his head, and to keep them at arm's length, including General Tiwaida, that it's a pure political warfare. Honor M.K.O, a man who has been sidelined, disdained, relocated by the powers that be, and that it is just because of the February 2019 election. How do you react to this perception?
You know, even when M.K.O was running, before M.K.O started running for elections, you know, he was very generous. He was always helping people. So some people also said he's only doing it because he wanted to become president. So people will always say whatever they want to say. Great men are loved and they're also hated. What General Buhari has done is an indication of the fact that he's a great man. And the fact that he's a great man means that people will love and hate whatever he does. So let people say whatever they want to say. But we that we know the truth, we know that if he wasn't a good man, he would not have done what he did. Some people had the political advantage to take advantage of this political, but they didn't want to take it. And at the end of the day, he took it because he's a good man. So we want to just limit and restrict our imagination to that. Let other people that want to have bigger imaginations blow it out of proportion and say whatever they want to say. But for us, we are not looking at it like he's scoring any political points because he did the right thing. And you know, as I say, it's better late than never. I'm always using parables because that's what M.K.O does. You know? M.K.O, you know, I mean, the master of parables.
Yes.
So we learn from him.
So you also become the master in this some other ways. Now let me ask you this critical question. Since President Buhari did this honor, there have been a whole lot of scenes of news and beams everywhere who have been saying all sorts of things. But with that score that the Senate has also come into the picture, they are now saying, oh, let's even declare the election. Let INEC come out and declare the results. And let us now name M.K.O Abiola ex-president and his vice, former ex-president, and let's see how much they've been owning all this where they are pushing all that. Sir, do you see this as a scramble for glory? You know, in 1885, Dr. von Bismarck was scrambling for Africa, and there was scrambling across of that. Do you see this as scramble for Abiola's glory?
I just see it as, you see, one thing about human beings is that a lot of people will always say that, people are not good, people are not good. In the lie, people are good. It's just that the bad sometimes covers the good. When the good comes out, it comes out like a Pandora's box. All is happening now. The Senate president, all of them, they know the right thing to do. This is Africa. Africa is a very, 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 very funny place. But when good things happen in Africa, it has a spiral effect. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at it like anybody's scrambling for anything. These people mean well. You know, they are politicians, and a lot of people don't trust politicians. But it doesn't mean that everything that they do is politically motivated. Sometimes, you know, in most cases, they do things because they actually want to do it for a good reason. So let's give them benefit of a doubt. Let's think positive so that we can come together as a country and we can solve all these problems that keep springing up. Because if we don't come together and we don't do the right thing, there's no way we're going to ever fix whatever is probably bothering us in this country.
I want to ask you this question now. Critically, if you look at it now, this is a honor that seems like no any other honor. But now, if you are to sit with General Obasanjo on the right side, General Babangida on the left side, you find yourself in between them in a common room. What is going to be your word to them as the fifth son of late M.K.O Abiola and the man who wrote the book, the president who never wrote? What are you going to tell General Obasanjo and General Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida if you have to find yourself in a common room?
You see, the wise people in this world have always said, wherever you are with anybody, always find a middle ground. No matter what differences I have with anybody, I will always find something that I have in common with that person. We might talk about sports, we can talk about anything else. Since we can talk about anything, so if I see them, we can even talk about like whether drinking orange juice is even more healthier than drinking apple. There are so many things we can talk about. So we're not going to limit everything to like, we already know, even they themselves, they know deep down that M.K.O Abiola is somebody that fights for this country. So at the end of the day, we don't have any problem. You see, it's just about the method that people go about and all the, I don't want to even spoil my mood by thinking about anything negative. If I see them, definitely they too, no matter who they are, they've contributed to this country one way or the other. They have done things that at least they themselves they are proud about. So let's all focus on the good things. Because we have to build this country, we have to move the country forward.
Now let me ask you, there's also opposition. We were very shocked yesterday when one Honorable Dilo Melaye said that your father does not deserve GCFR, that your father is a late man and is no more a Nigerian. And a lot of people on Facebook were discussing maybe M.K.O is a Chinese or is a Pakistani or is a Bangladeshi,
No, but you got it wrong. What he said was that a citizen, when somebody dies, the person can no longer be a citizen. So he is saying that like a dead man cannot be a citizen. But definitely the beauty of democracy is for people to come up with their ideas. Even if the idea is bizarre, you just laugh about it. It's entertaining. So let's laugh about it, I know he has always been an entertaining man anyway. So it's just living up to his image,
Now, before we go to the last end, I want to ask you this critical question. Jamiu Abiola is that very peculiar African son who lost a mother to the bullets of a junta and lost a father to the mysterious circumstances of a junta. In the long run, how do you feel? Who is Jamiu Abiola in the long run? In your silent mood, in your quiet place, no your child, none of the children around, your wife no there, no friend, nobody. In your most quiet moment, who is Jamiu Abiola, being this peculiar person who lost a mother, lost a father to the strange struggle, political struggle.
Engrossed in like translation languages, and I thank God because translation and languages has been a form of therapy. When all these things happened, what saved me from this junta crisis was the fact that in that period, from the time the election was annulled to now, I've learned almost 8-9 languages. And I'm now a translator, international translator. I translate for Volkswagen, for Amazon, for Google. I translate German, I translate Italian, I translate Spanish, I translate French. And most of these countries, I've never been there before. I just memorize dictionaries. So I have a lot of things I'm doing that actually, I don't have time to start thinking negative. The cup is always half full and it's not half empty. That's why I am. I look for what is going to make me happy and not what's going to make me sad. And part of the reason why Nigeria is having the problems they're having is because negativity breeds negativity. When you are negative, you're going to end up becoming more negative. So we're always thinking about what is wrong, what is wrong. And by doing that, we actually demoralize our leaders. We discourage them. Some of them now don't even try their best anymore because they say, since my best is not good enough for them, why should I kill myself over these people? So we have to change our attitude. We have to become more positive. So Jamiu Abiola is somebody that is trying hard to be a positive thinker.
A positive thinker.
That is it.
I will ask you this question now. Today is a very symbolic day, and I don't know if you know, I'm interviewing you today, June 8th. And I'm believing that June 8th, as we are talking right now, the Abachas are celebrating 20 years of their father's death in Kano and in any other place on Gidado Road. So, what do you feel with that man, General Sani Abacha, who locked your father up for 5 years and who supposed to have been the arbitrator, who supposed to have brought succor, and under his regime, your mother died. Have you forgiven the Abacha family? Did you have anything negative about them? Seeing your mother's billboard on high streets and looking back memory lane and having the feel of what that woman meant to you, and your father, what he meant to you. So when he came to the US to meet you in school, and sometimes you are counting money for him, and sometimes you take his private jet and all that. Do you have anything very heavy for the Abacha family today, especially General Sani Abacha?
If I have not forgiven the Abachas, the fact that I cannot do any harm to any of them means that my forgiveness or my lack of forgiveness is inconsequential. Do you get that? If I have not forgiven them, the fact that I can never plan any evil against any of them, the fact that I have not forgiven them is inconsequential. So
that's a parable.
It's a parable, but that's how it is. It's not something that is so complicated that I cannot say yellow or blue or black. But if I've not forgiven them, the fact that I cannot harm them or plan anything against them means that the fact that I don't forgive them is not even important. So let's leave it like that. But the most important thing is that if somebody is down, there's no point in trying to push the person down. Everybody, when you talk about Abacha, what do you hear? Abacha loot, Abacha loot. They will say that they use Abacha loot to do this budget. They use Abacha loot. Abacha has died in 1998. This is 20 years of Abacha's death. And you're hearing Abacha loot, Abacha loot, Abacha loot. So if, unfortunately for Abacha, if some of the money he actually earned legitimately, nobody's going to give him credit for that. Because they will even say it's all loot. Even if Abacha has 1 naira today, they'll say it's loot. So Abacha is already finished. So somebody in that situation, what am I going to say about him again? So at the end of the day, now everybody's talking about M.K.O Abiola. They're talking about Democracy Day. So now, if there was a contest between both men, and both men have died all over Nigeria now on June 12th, everybody's going to sit at home, and the people that were not born then will ask, why are we at home? Why can't we go to school? They will say somebody won an election 20-something years ago, and that man was a great man. So now, that's one person. The other person will say, we're using his loot to fix generator. We're using his loot to do this. And you're now asking me if I'm forgiving them. What will I even think about them? God has already settled the scores. God has already done everything. And now, it's unfortunate. That's why in life, when you have opportunity, do what is good. Even if you're going to end up not even having one couple. Because your conscience, the spirit, because human being is two. There's spirit and there's body. If you do what is bad, your body will enjoy, but your spirit will suffer. That's why you see a lot of people that might be very rich and they're very miserable.
Yes.
When you say, they're always like, thinking like, you not say to yourself that this person has all this money and is so useless and miserable. But someone that doesn't even have 1 naira is even happy. So it's a lesson to everybody. So that's the answer to my question.
Let me ask you before we round up now.
Yes.
In the book, when we were reviewing the book at African Hall, that was December 10, 2016,
Yes.
there are some speakers who stood up and said, oh yes, M.K.O Abiola was an elite who transcended to a commoner. And he started as an elite and he transcended to a commoner. And Mr. Sheba Kabajori stood up and said, no, Fela only sang ITT to demystify M.K.O because of a personal grudge. In the real sense, who was your father? Was he an elite who transcended to a common man, or has he always been like that all his life? Why did he decide to sacrifice all for something that appears to be nothing? Why is your father like that?
Now, you see, the thing about life is that you will never know who you are till you get into a position to do whatever you want to do. A man can be nice all his life, then all of a sudden he now becomes rich, he now becomes crazy, he becomes mad. Someone like M.K.O had the opposite effect. By the time, before he became rich, he was a businessman. Don't think he was like a pastor or a imam or anything like that. He was a businessman, he was looking for his profit. And he wanted to make as much profit as possible. When he now got the money, he now said to himself, wait a minute, how can I have all this and this person is suffering? In life, when God wants to get you, God gets you in a way that you yourself will not even know. You now say to yourself that, why do I have $500 million? How can I give this one $1 million? It sounds like a joke. 2 million, 5 million, 7 million, 10 million. When the money is going down, why don't I even give them my life? The man was just going and going. Last time I saw him in 1995, Abacha had him brought to one police officer's office, to come and see us. That's why we waited for 3 days. The policemen felt very bad. They said, if you see your father, talk to him, beg him to leave this state because we know what he has done for all of us. We don't want him to die in this place.
You mean the
policemen were telling us that we should beg him. When the man now came, he sat down with us. I said, Daddy, how are you doing? He said, me, I'm doing fine. I said, Daddy, so this thing, how are you going to go about it now? He said, I'm ready to face the firing squad. The policeman just covered his face in shame. He said, yeah, this man has done it. I said, but Daddy, are you sure? He said, Nigerians are suffering, Nigerians are poor. And they had been in jail. That was 1995. They had been in jail for more than a year. He said, they put me in Black Maria. They don't allow my doctor to see me. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to face the firing squad. And this is a man that before, he goes to London twice a week. His pilots and his crew, they live in Sheraton. This is a man that sometimes he will go to Paris and have his Rolls Royce brought to Paris to pick him up so he can drive to London and sleep, so he can have rest. He lived the highest life ever since 1975 till he was arrested. He goes to London sometimes 2 times in a week. So he was living in Nigeria, living in London. Sometimes he comes to America, he's there for 5 hours and he's going. He comes and he goes, and he goes and he comes. But now he said to himself that these people, And I told him that, remember you told me about a saying once, you told me that if somebody is holding a sword and you try to take the sword from the person by force, the person will use the sword to choke you. So you are trying to be careful so you can take the sword from the handle. He said, but I've taken the sword by force. Now if they choke me, that's their own business. So you see, this man is not only a shallow, he's a very deep thinker because he has already seen it all. He said, you know that's why he said he wants to fight for reparations, he wants to do this, he wants to do that. And he was making enemies all around the world, but he didn't give a damn. And that's exactly the kind of attitude you need if you want to make Africa great, because Africa is in trouble. Africa is in serious trouble because we are so behind. We are so behind that it's only God that can save us. Now, if we want God to save us, then we're going to have the attitude he had, the doggedness and the selflessness. If you don't have that attitude, you could have truly demanded. You would have told them that I want money, and they would have given me $500 million. Or you could have told Abacha I want to become prime minister, and he would have become prime minister under Abacha, and Abacha would have shared the government. But he said he can't do that because Abacha is very greedy, and he doesn't want anybody to spoil his name. So, compared to the other politicians now that are just trying to trade office, you see them today, they're in this party, tomorrow they go to another party, they form this alliance, tomorrow they go to another alliance, because they're thinking about themselves. But this man did not give a damn. He cared about the masses so that he can create an image for black people. Not just Africa, black people, even in the diaspora. So this is a very deep matter. Africa is a sinking ship. If we don't get that kind of navigator, we're going to keep sinking. So may God help General Buhari.
You dedicate the book to Mr. President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda and the late statesman, President Nelson Mandela. Mandela, for a reason, was a one-term president and was an African statesman. But right now, Yoweri Museveni is in his 5th term. And we know he was very close to Chief MKO Abiola, was a father's friend. But what message do you have for him? Do you think it's a departure from what democracy is? Because in Uganda already there are parties of opposition coming up, pocket of opposition saying no, it is enough, it's enough.
Yes.
So why will you dedicate such a book to Museveni? Of course, Mandela we can tolerate because he died a noble man, but Yoweri.
When I dedicated the book to him, what you just read now, if you read what I said, for their support, what was the last thing?
Yes, for their support to my father, President Moshood Abiola, throughout his incarceration.
That is why I dedicated the book to him. That support. I did not dedicate it to him for his democratic credentials. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, now.
Yes.
Before we go to the final one, in the book, during the last month before your father was killed, you and your brother came from America, you struggled how you were in Abuja. I know people are asking, who's that general that you went to his house in the night and before you saw him there was a lot of problems? Some people said it was General Dia, but I'm not sure. But I'm asking you, who's that general?
His name is General Dia.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So what was his reaction like then? Because
he was in a fix because he was not happy. He's from Ijebu.
Yes.
My mother is from Ijebu, and he knew he was so mad about the killings. But you know how it is in life. When you are moving with the wrong people, when they are doing the wrong things, you cannot say you don't know them. Because they'll be like, where were you when we, So at the end of the day, even though he was not with them by blood, he was with them by association. So he was in a fix. And that's why eventually, it came out and the General Abacha realized and he tried to kill him.
What did he say to you that night?
He said that, look at what's even happening. Even this so-called investigation, he wanted to complete, but of course that old man kept doing like this, that this is not what we came for, and of course, he wasn't able to say much, but he was very, very remorseful. And that's why sometimes in life, you have to pick your friends very well. Pick the wrong friends, and then kill somebody. Nobody's going to believe that you are not part of them, because they'll say, I know your friend. So it's very unfortunate.
Do you think the stolen presidency has not been restored? The stolen presidency?
The stolen presidency has been restored, because now, what they've done for him, now, had it been Chief Abiola was just sworn in, and he became president, he would have done his term, would have been like any other president. But now, he's the unique president in Africa that never ruled. No other president, I'm sure even in the whole world, I don't think there's anybody that has been a president that became president after he died. So you can imagine, this is a guy that all his brothers were dying before him and they called him Kashimawo. And now he became a president, he didn't rule, and he now became a president in his death. So once again, Muslim ticket, he won his opponent in his own hometown. It's like President Buhari winning President Goodluck Jonathan in Bayelsa with a Muslim ticket. It's like the same kind of feat, achieved by Chief Abiola, and now he's now becoming a president in his death. I mean, you can imagine if you want to know the definition of uniqueness, That is uniqueness, right?
A lot of people are saying that why won't they give an Abiola a position? Jamiu speaks 12 international language, he interprets for foreign organizations, he interprets for foreign investors. Why has he not been nominated as a minister, maybe of external affairs or something like that? With this package, with this glory coming to the Abiola family, do you see something like this coming? Because I used to know you as a politician before you went into business, but at the time, you cannot even lay hand on what you do again, but we know you are busy anyway. So do you see something coming your way? I mean, the honor of Abiola's son, daughter.
Well, you know that power belongs to God and God gives power.
Okay, sir.
God can make me a president tomorrow. And God might even say that minister is too small for him, let him make him president. Or God can see that president is too much for him, let him make him governor. God can say, let him make him even councillor. The most important thing is, whatever God wants, I'm happy with it.
And the 50th year anniversary is Tuesday, June 8, 2008, and the president is going to decorate member of the M.K.O Abiola family, member of Chief Gani Fawehinmi family. What advice have you given to Nigerians, lovers of M.K.O Abiola in the UK, in Australia, all over the world, people who have always waited for this time, for this moment, for this season? What is Jamiu Abiola telling them?
What I'm going to tell them is that work hard and be good so that you get the honor. It's more than money. You know, Yoruba always say it. A good name is more than riches. If you do the right thing, you might even become rich at the end of the day as well. Look at Bill Gates. He created something that people needed and it was rewarded financially. So try to keep that name. Because it's only a good name that goes with your spirit. And it's the spirit that is a human being. Body comes and it goes, but the spirit is eternal. That's the message I have.
Yeah. Okay.
M.K.O stood for a lot of things. If federal government is owing him money, that's one thing. But the most important thing that M.K.O that matters to him is for people to have welfare. I want now, at least I'm speaking for myself, we want the federal government to double its efforts to make it easier for Nigerians to benefit from democracy, because democracy came at a large sacrifice. So I want to see that the government, whatever moral support we have, or any kind of support we can provide to the government, to enable them to actually make it very, very possible for democracy to actually bring the relief. Then that is after that, when the government is doing well and the government and the country has invested in gum Arabic, sesame seeds, sobo, and the country is productive and there is no financial crisis, then they can look at their books and whatever is owed Chief M.K.O Abiola, they can pay it to the family. But for now, we want the government to be focused on bringing the country up. We are now following the same pattern that M.K.O was following. M.K.O did not think about the debt and all that. M.K.O was thinking about how we were going to uplift Nigeria. So that is my own perception of what we believe is important. I don't know what other members of the family might say about that, but that's what I believe.
Okay.
We have plans, and the president is actually looking into that as well, in terms of the Minister of Justice recently called the family members to come for a meeting, and they want the family to actually resolve the issue of what happens to all these assets. Because MKO has legal people, legal heirs, and let them get, so the government is actually trying to even help with that as well, so that this company can be resuscitated, So it's going to work out. The only thing is that the reason why they're in that situation is because what happened was a real tragedy. The government, Abacha, purposely, intentionally wanted to destroy this man. Even, that when he was living in jail, my mother was killed. He was given the newspaper of her death and in solitary confinement. They wanted to break him down. They didn't want to even give him a Quran, to the point that the Quran that was given to him, the person that gave him the Quran was arrested by General Abubakar. After M.K.O had died and they saw a Quran, they said, where did he get this Quran from? General Abubakar arrested this person, and the person now had to actually justify that I actually gave this Quran because somebody that was staying with me that knew Abacha's PA was allowed to see him, and he gave him the Quran. So they did not even want him to even have a holy book to tell you the kind of people we are dealing with here. So the businesses died not by natural death, they were suffocated. And of course, you don't know the rest of it. The family tossed to another. I don't want to go into that. It's a very good positive period. So everything is going to work out by the grace of God. At least now, the most important thing has been uplifted. He has actually gotten his mandate.